Have you ever looked up at the night sky? Have you seen that vast, dark canvas sprinkled with countless stars? Each star is a sun, much like our own, and around many of them, planets are orbiting. It is a sight that fills us with a profound sense of wonder. It also makes us ask a simple yet enormous question. Are we alone? For as long as we have been able to think, we have wondered about our place in the universe. We've told stories about gods in the heavens and visitors from other worlds. This curiosity is a fundamental part of what it means to be human. It drives us to explore, to learn, and to imagine what lies beyond our own small world, out there in the silent darkness. This question leads to another equally fascinating one. If there are other civilizations out there, what might they be like? Are they like us, just starting their journey? Or are they fantastically advanced? Beings of pure energy, perhaps. We look at our own progress here on Earth. We have gone from chipping stones to splitting atoms in a relatively short time. We have built towering cities and connected the entire globe with an invisible web of information. Our journey has been incredible, so we can't help but wonder what a civilization with thousands or even millions of years more experience might achieve. It's a thought that is both humbling and incredibly exciting. The story of humanity is a story of progress. We are always reaching for the next step, the next discovery. Think about our ancestors. They learned to control fire. This single act changed everything. It gave them warmth, light, and protection. It allowed them to cook food, which in turn helped their brains to develop. This was a massive leap forward. Then came agriculture, the wheel, writing, and countless other innovations. Each step built upon the last, taking us further and further. We are constantly seeking new ways to harness energy and shape our world to meet our needs. This relentless drive for progress seems to be etched into our very DNA. So, how do we measure this progress? How can we think about the future in a structured way? When we look out into the cosmos, we are not just looking for life. We are looking for intelligence. We are looking for civilizations that have, like us, embarked on a journey of discovery. But how would we even begin to compare ourselves to them? What kind of ruler could you possibly use to measure the advancement of a society? Is it about art? Is it about philosophy? Or is it about something more fundamental, something that all life everywhere would need to master in order to grow and expand? This is the central puzzle we must solve. In 1964, a brilliant Soviet astrophysicist named Nikolai Kardashev was thinking about this very problem. He was involved in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI. He realized that if we were to ever detect a signal from an alien civilization, we would need to have some idea of what we were looking for. Were we looking for faint radio whispers, or for signals so powerful they could outshine a star? To help with this, he proposed a method for classifying hypothetical alien civilizations. He suggested that the most objective way to measure a civilization's advancement was by the amount of energy it could control and use. This simple but powerful idea is now known as the Kardashev scale. The scale is beautifully simple. Kardashev proposed three main types of civilizations. A Type 1 civilization is one that has learned to harness all the energy available on its home planet. A Type 2 civilization is far more advanced. It can control the entire energy output of its parent star. A Type 3 civilization is the most advanced of all, a truly galactic power. It can command the energy of its entire host galaxy, which could contain hundreds of billions of stars. It's a scale of cosmic proportions, a ladder of progress stretching across the universe. Why is this scale so important? It gives us a roadmap. It allows us to imagine the future of our own civilization in a structured way. It provides us with milestones to aim for. By looking at the Kardashev scale, we can ask, where are we now, and where are we going? It helps us to understand the immense challenges and incredible opportunities that lie ahead of us on our journey to becoming a more advanced society. Let us now take our first step onto this cosmic ladder. The first destination on our journey is a Type 1 civilization. What does this truly mean? It means becoming the masters of our own home. A Type 1 civilization is a species that has learned to harness and control all the forms of energy available on its home planet. This includes all the sunlight that falls on it, all the geothermal energy from its core, and everything in between. This is a monumental achievement. It represents the moment a civilization graduates from being a collection of competing tribes and nations into a truly unified planetary entity. A key characteristic of a Type 1 civilization would be its incredible efficiency. Our current society, honestly, is astonishingly wasteful. We burn fossil fuels and release vast amounts of heat and pollution into the atmosphere. A Type 1 civilization would find this behavior utterly primitive. For them, waste would be, well, an alien concept. They would have perfected the art of recycling on a molecular level, a concept we call a circular economy. The entire planet would function as a single, integrated system, with energy flowing smoothly from where it is generated to where it is needed, with almost zero loss along the way. What would daily life look like for the inhabitants of a Type 1 world? Transportation would be effortless and incredibly fast. Imagine stepping into a personal transport pod in London and arriving in Tokyo just a few minutes later. Health and longevity would also be revolutionized. A Type 1 civilization would have a complete understanding of biology and genetics. Diseases like cancer and dementia would have been eradicated centuries ago. With automation and artificial intelligence handling almost all manual labor and routine tasks, humans would be free to pursue their passions. The goal of society would no longer be mere survival or the accumulation of wealth. Once a civilization has achieved planetary mastery, once it has become a unified Type 1 society, a profound shift in perspective must occur. The next logical step, the next grand challenge to unite the species and drive it forward, is to reach for its parent star. So, how exactly would a civilization go about capturing the entire energy output of its star? In 1960, the physicist and mathematician Freeman Dyson considered this very question. This theoretical megastructure has since become famously known as a Dyson sphere, the ultimate solar panel. One popular idea is a Dyson swarm. This would consist of a vast number of independent solar collectors and habitats orbiting the star in a dense, coordinated formation. Each collector would gather energy and beam it wirelessly to where it was needed. With the power of an entire star at their disposal, a Type 2 civilization would become true masters of their solar system. They would be stellar engineers, capable of manipulating celestial bodies on a scale that seems, honestly, godlike to us. The most extreme form of stellar engineering would involve the star itself. A Type 2 civilization might learn how to manage their star's life cycle, a practice known as stelliferous husbandry. They could feed it additional hydrogen to extend its lifespan by trillions of years. Their home system would become their personal workshop, a canvas for their grandest designs. They would not be passive inhabitants of their cosmic neighborhood. They would be its active architects. What would it be like to be an individual living in such a stellar civilization? The sheer scale of their world would be honestly pretty breathtaking. The entire solar system would be their backyard. A computer powered by the energy of a star, often called a matryoshka brain, could perform calculations that would make all of human knowledge seem like a child's scribbles. They could simulate the birth of the universe, explore the deepest mysteries of quantum mechanics. Life would be a continuous journey of discovery. However, even at this stage, new challenges would emerge. A civilization of such power and diversity might face existential risks from within. We now arrive at the final, breathtaking rung on Kardashev's original scale. This is a Type 3 civilization, a society that has graduated from mastering a planet and a star to commanding the energy of an entire galaxy. Imagine a species that has survived and expanded for millions, perhaps even billions of years. Over these immense timescales, they would have spread from their home star system to its neighbors, and then to the neighbors of those, in a slowly expanding wave of colonization. Their presence would be felt not in one star system, but in billions of them, a web of intelligence and energy spanning an entire galaxy. The power at their command would be, for all practical purposes, infinite. To manage an empire that spans 100,000 light years, a Type 3 civilization would need technologies that seem like pure magic to us. Therefore, a Type 3 civilization must have mastered faster-than-light travel and communication. Their mastery of physics would be, honestly, absolute. They would likely be able to manipulate the very fabric of space-time itself. This could allow them to create new matter and energy from the vacuum, essentially conjuring resources out of nothing. With this power, they could undertake engineering projects on a galactic scale. They could manipulate the orbits of entire star systems, moving them to avoid cosmic hazards like supernovae or the chaotic gravitational pull of the galactic core. What would the individuals within such a civilization be like? Well, it's highly probable that they would have long since abandoned their original biological forms. They may exist as pure information. Their consciousness is uploaded into vast planet-sized computational substrates. They might exist as a hive mind, a collective consciousness of unimaginable wisdom and experience, composed of the memories and thoughts of every member of their species that has ever lived. They would be, in a sense, a living galaxy of mind. A Type 3 civilization may have become so advanced, so different, that they would be utterly invisible to us. They might be all around us, in the quantum foam, in the dark matter between galaxies, completely beyond our ability to perceive or comprehend. After our journey through these godlike civilizations, from planetary managers to galactic architects, it's time to turn the telescope back towards ourselves. We've built great cities, we've walked on the moon, we've created a global network that connects billions of us. The truth, however, is a little more sobering. According to the scale devised by Kardashev, we have not yet even made it onto the first rung. We are not yet a Type 1 civilization. We are, in fact, what some have called a Type 0 civilization. To put a number on it, the famous physicist Carl Sagan calculated our position. When we look at humanity's total energy consumption right now, from all sources, oil, gas, coal, nuclear, solar, wind, we find our current value is somewhere around 0.73. The journey from Type 0 to Type 1 is perhaps the most perilous a civilization can undertake. This transition period is often called the Great Filter. It's a theoretical barrier that could be so difficult to overcome that it might be the reason we have not found any other intelligent life out there. A civilization at our stage learns to wield immense power, like nuclear energy, before it has developed the social and political wisdom to manage it. We have created technologies that can affect the entire planet's climate, but we lack the unified will to control them for our collective good. To reach Type 1, we must complete a total transition to clean, sustainable energy sources. We must embrace the power of our sun, our wind, our planet's inner heat, and the atom itself in a safe and sustainable way. This is not just an environmental goal, it is a civilizational necessity. So, what is our path forward? The good news is that we are already seeing the first signs of this transformation. The growth of renewable energy technologies like solar and wind power is happening at an exponential rate. Alongside this technological revolution, a cultural one must also take place. The internet and global communication have, for the first time in history, connected us as a single planetary community. We are seeing the slow emergence of a global consciousness. The journey will require immense investment in science and education. We need to create political systems that are capable of global cooperation. This involves building and strengthening international institutions, fostering diplomacy, and creating a culture of mutual respect and understanding. How long will it take? Predictions vary, but many physicists, like Michio Kaku, estimate that humanity could achieve Type 1 status in about 100 to 200 years. This may seem like a long time, but on a cosmic timescale, it is the blink of an eye. We are living in the most decisive century in human history. The choices we make right now in our lifetimes will determine whether we join the ranks of the advanced civilizations or become another failed experiment in the cosmic silence. The path is clear. The challenge is immense. But the potential reward is the future itself. A stable, prosperous and unified planetary home, ready to look outwards to the stars. We have traveled an immense distance in our minds. We have soared from our own small world, still in its planetary infancy, to the breathtaking heights of stellar and galactic civilizations. We have journeyed up the Kardashev scale, this incredible roadmap of cosmic potential. The journey from Type 0 to Type 3 is more than just a story of technological progress. It is the ultimate story of life's potential. It suggests that intelligence is not just a fleeting accident on a single planet, but a force that can grow to shape the universe itself. The Kardashev scale gives us a framework for our grandest ambitions. It transforms the silent, empty-seeming cosmos into a place of profound potential. It tells us that the story of humanity does not have to end here on this one small world. So where does this leave us here and now on this day in 2024? It leaves us with a choice. The Kardashev scale is not a prophecy. It is a map of possible futures. The path to Type 1 is laid out before us, but it is a path we must choose to walk. Ultimately, the Kardashev scale is an invitation. It is an invitation to wonder. It encourages us to look up at the night sky not just with a sense of smallness, but with a sense of possibility. It asks us to think on the grandest of scales and to consider our own place in the vast cosmic story. The next time you look up at the stars, remember this journey. Remember the planetary gardeners, the stellar engineers, and the galactic minds. And remember that we are standing at the very beginning of that same path. The story of humanity is far from over. In fact, the most exciting chapters are yet to be written. The future is not something that happens to us. It is something we must build together.